Hey guys, Brad from Team Crimson here with
Dekin.
and we're a little bit behind, but today we're going to talk about Ethics Buster. Is it good or is it bad? It's bad. And then two, we're going to talk about Valeos and his support. Is it good or is it bad? It's bad. And then we're also going to talk about the thing that people are actually excited about, overdress. Stay tuned. All right, guys, so we're going to talk about all the boring stuff, get that out of the way real quick. So, Dekin, do you want to go ahead and read the Nova Grappler reveals for Clan Selection Volume 2, question mark?
Yeah. So, they're beast deity. So the first one was grade 1, beast deity. A skill auto rearguard when placed during your main phase. You stand with your units with beast deity and its card name, and then auto vanguard rearguard when your vanguard attack. Look at 5 cards at the top of the deck, reveal up to 1 grade 3 card with beast deity and card name among them. Put it into your hand and shuffle your deck. If you put it into your hand, this unit goes in from rearguard into your soul. It's a searcher. Zach, your thoughts on that?
It's good. It's good. It is. It is good.
Yeah. Be better if it was God hand for it, though, right?
Brian was trying to piss you off right now. All right.
Next card was grade 2 Beast Deity Typhoon. 9K. Skill, act, Vanguard, Rearguard. Once per turn, if you have a Vanguard with Beast Deity and its card cost, Counterblast 1, 5 cards from the top of your deck. Call up to 1 card with Beast Deity card name, other than a grade 2 from among them to Rearguard and shuffle your deck. Zach, thoughts?
It's okay. It's good. All right.
Counterblast card that way.
It's,
I like gonna be. I like that. That's gonna be your answers. Your Zach, thoughts on your grade 1? It's good. Continue on. Now that I've read it, it's okay.
I approve. Okay, so Typhoon Bird, yeah, it's a counterblast 1 to search for top 5. If you with it, counterblast, that blows, considering that Nova Grappler is typically considered a super counterblast deck. Beastie, not so much, but it depends on how the variant deck is built. But yeah, it's a fine card, I guess.
Yeah, should have been a discard 1 to call out. I think that's what I think.
The big Mamba Jamba himself.
Beast Deity. Grade 3. He has to sell. He's a 12K. Auto Vanguard. When placed or rode upon, cost, discard 2 cards from your hand. Stand one of your units with Beast Deity and its card name, and attack your opponent's Vanguard with that unit. At the end of the battle, if that attack did not hit, stand that unit. If the attack did hit, that unit gets drive -1 until end of turn. Then auto Vanguard your unit with Beast Deity and its card name attacks, cost, counterblast 1, and that unit gets power +5 until end of turn. Originally, we thought this was good. Zach, your thoughts?
It is great crash. And only good in trade.
Yeah.
It's bad. It's a terrible card.
And it makes how angry does it make you, Zach?
very, 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 because, okay. So the beans are spilled. Let's just kind of establish why it's so bad. The reason it's bad, one, it is only a 12k. Okay, you can say, oh, Zach, Counterblast 1 and all your beast deity, that you use this skill for, because you can use it for any beast deity attack any times. You can Counterblast 1 and give it 5k, so it's a 17k. All right, cool. That's still only 17. Doesn't freaking matter. That's how the skill works. How the skill works, discard the 2 when he's placed. And this is ride 1. You tell 2 draw cards, discard 2. So you're getting +1 from Excel, and you're discarding 2, so you're -1. And then you get your twin drop. All right. If you're playing Force, you will have to counterblast every single time. Unless, Zach, it can be stand if it doesn't hit. It's not a big deal. And then it gets to keep twin drive. Guess what? You literally did nothing. That didn't matter at all. You decked by 2 cards, though. That didn't fucking matter.
No.
All right. But then we get to the on place and on ride part. So let's say you basically break ride ethics over ethic. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't work very well, because how it works, and you can watch any video about any, we've seen a couple videos, these people talking about the rulings, and they go through the rule book. Okay, so how it works is you pick one of the skills, the on place or the on ride. You activate it, you swing, and then you have to activate the other skill, the on place or on ride skill. So you're discarding another 2 cards. And this is before the first attack even actually hits. Okay, let's say it does hit. You restand, and then the second skill still has to go off. Then you swing. If it doesn't hit, it restands. Whatever. Let's say it does hit. All right. Then you still had to pay that cost. Counterblast 2. Restand. It will have -1 drive, so you're negging yourself more. And you're giving your opponent, up to 3 chances for damage triggers. Basically, what I'm establishing is the deck now with Ethics Buster is so contradictory to the Beast Deity playstyle before. It doesn't make sense at all. Attacking with your Vanguard in the main phase inflicts 0 pressure. None. 0, nada. Oh, you can get double crit, Zach. You can get double crit and stack it on your Vanguard, Zach. It doesn't matter.
And that's why I'm already on beer number 3, because I was preparing for Zach's rants.
It is terrible. It's bad. So,
Which are a key feature here in Team Crimson. All right.
With Ethics Buster included in the deck, the deck is insanely gimmicky. And it makes you feel like you're doing something when really you're accomplishing nothing at all. It's a bad card. Now, however, in Premium, it's pretty awesome. It's an alright card. It's pretty great. But if we're talking about Standard, then it's just straight trash, and I don't care about it, and it's awful, and I will not buy it. And if I ever, I will incinerate it in fire.
Jesus.
Those words I like to hear.
Jesus.
All right, fire. You get the card. I'll get the fire.
Bad
All
card.
right. Let's move on to Aqua Force, so we can get this out of the way too, because they're also
Grappler. We all know it.
so get on to Aqua Force, get on to these bad cards, so we can move on to the exciting news, which is Overdress. All right, so grade 1 for Aqua Force, Blue Wave Soldier, Senior, Corvette. Yeah, whatever. K body, grade 1. Continuous rearguard circle during your turn. If you have a Vanguard with Blue Wave in its card name, this unit gets power plus 5k. free power compared to Nova's having to CB one for that plus power.
They learn from their
Auto Vanguard Rearguard Circle. When it attacks or the attack it boosted hits a Vanguard, look at 3 cards from the top of your deck, reveal up to one of them with Blue Wave and its card name from among them, put it into your hand, and put the rest onto the bottom of your deck in any order.
mistake. It searches for free. It doesn't have to move from board, and it's just genuinely good. So they learn to get from the mistake with Novas.
Yeah, except the problem is that it's Blue Wave restricted. Otherwise, yeah, if it was, yeah. But anyways, moving on to the grade 2 Blue Wave Marine General Galliot. Powers 9K clearly. Auto Vanguard Circle. When it attacks, cost counter +1. And stand one of your rear guards with Blue Wave and its card name. Auto Rearguard Circle. Once per turn. At the end of the battle that it attacked, if your opponent's Vanguard current power is different from its original power, cost Soul Blast 1. Choose one of your other rear guards in the same column as this unit and exchange its positions with this unit. So that's quite cool. I do. Yeah. Then the main man pajama himself, Blue Wave Marshal Valeos. He is 12K and he is giftless. That implies to you how good this is right now. He's giftless. Act Vanguard Circle once per turn. Cost Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1. Choose one of your opponent's Vanguards, and until end of turn, it gets power -5K. And if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, its power cannot increase or decrease other than by this effect and Guardians. And then act Vanguard Circle once per turn. Cost. Discard a card with the same card name as your Vanguard from your hand. Remove all markers from your circles and call up to 5 cards from your drop zone to Rearguard Circle. And then a third skill, Auto Vanguard Circle once per turn. At the end of battle that your unit attacked, choose 2 of your rear guards and you may exchange their positions. So yeah, this is old school Valeos, sort of. Being able to neg your opponent some power and then keeping them at that power, at said power. So that's doing what old school Valeos did. And then it also has kind of a Megiddo skill of being able to bring back the full field and stuff, and then you're able to swap their positions, which is quite interesting. But it's the thing of having to have a full field, or you have to have like a pretty decent full drop zone in order to fully utilize this card. And then you're also having to get rid of any Excel markers that you could possibly have. So yeah, I do not like this card. I think it's trash. I like that it gives, there's certain aspects to it that I think are good, but for the most part, I think it misses the mark. Your guys' thoughts?
I quite like it. I really like the neg 5K, and or if you're at grade 3, because you can just run this in all honesty, like run it in a Revon deck and be all like, I'm consistently negging you 5, but neg you 5 and hit all these attacks, you're not going to go up in power at all because of talent.
I think it definitely could be a Tekken option into Revon, yeah. But like, it's not. I don't see it being, a highlight, a main highlight or anything. Because you'd rather stick to Revon.
I feel like it's more along the lines of how Castile and are a finish rather than the main unit. It's going to be a tech 2 or to 3 of, depending on the build.
I feel like it would get in the way. I feel like it would get in the way. I'd maybe do a 1 of, literally a 1 of, and if you're in a bad spot against a deck that was able to, board wipe you, that's not Narukami and actually binding your stuff, then I think this is a good idea. But otherwise, I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I think Revon's infinitely better, and then I think, and you'd want to probably stick to that because you really don't want to get rid of your circles unless in your, I don't know. But I also really think even Thavis is a little bit better too. But
Yeah.
I don't know. That's my thought.
Drop zone skill at all. It's an option. I personally probably wouldn't unless if I desperately needed to. I was Big Tide's talent. But
yeah. Oh yeah.
Zach, thoughts? It's better than Novas though, right? Like Aquas always are.
Unfortunately, I might have to agree.
Yeah, because what happens is Bushy comes out with Novas, they see their mistakes and like, we're gonna give Aqua a little bit of an edge.
Literally every time. Aquaforce gets the better support.
It's, you know why? It's because Aquaforce is a legendary clan. Back from season 2, they were one of the legendary clans. That's why.
First.
They like shrimp.
I like Aquaforce being able to instead of restanding and stuff like that, because I feel like that's Nova's gig. I really like when Aquaforce exchanges positions.
Yeah.
But like give them little buffs here or there or whatever, and then exchange positions. I like that infinitely more than stealing Nova Grappler's gig.
Yeah. Then you just hit them with the Maelstrom turn. You're like, tidal assault, Algos, tidal assault, Algos.
Yeah. Okay, so moving on. Oh, I did want to say that. So Vanguard has a new manga series called Cardfight Vanguard Turnabout. Yeah, so that's what my Overlord's from. That please Bushy, for the love of Christ, give to me. I want it. Dragonic Overlord the Turnabout. But I want it. Give it to me. But it's right now it's a Japanese exclusive because they get all the good stuff. But they are releasing a standard version promo card on April 8th for Bluish Flame Prominence Glare. So that's kind of cool. Like, I don't know, just nostalgia, but that's all V-Series is. But I mean, like, I don't know. I think it's kind of cool. It'd be cool if it was able to somehow splash in with Percival or something. That'd be really nice.
Bluish Flame Prominence Turnabout the Glare.
I think it'd be cool just because you know, like Legion was one of my favorites. So, yeah.
Tag nostalgia.
Yeah. All right. So let's get on with Overdress, because Overdress is stuff that we all care about, and please come out sooner. Because we all hate Standard right now, and Standard just sucks a big bag of dicks. And on top of it, Premium also sort of sucks a big bag of dicks because of V-Series. So yeah, good times. It's not time to play the game. So yeah, let's get on with Overdress, please. Hurry up, Overdress. Anyways, so they went ahead and they revealed some of the stuff. Let's go ahead and talk about. I want to talk about Persona Ride, because it was sort of confirmed last week, definitely confirmed this week. I'll get into that in a second. But they also revealed one of the Overtriggers as well, that I think is quite exciting. But I did want to say too, right off the bat, they revealed some of the artwork for all of the start deck kind of things. The main grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, along with a critical trigger, heal trigger, and the starter. So they revealed some of their art. Their art interconnects. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I don't hate any of them. All of them, I think, look just gorgeous. The artwork is phenomenal.
That's a meatball.
On top of it, we also had confirmed for us that they are with 10K power to these triggers. Instead of, we were all kind of hoping that they were going to kind of tame down the triggers, maybe go back to the 5K triggers. Nope, it's going to be 10K for sure. Along with it, they're keeping 15K shield for the critical triggers. We'll have to see what they do with the fronts. With heals, they reduced that from a 20K shield to a 15K shield as well. And then in addition, we did see some token Ranbu cards and stuff like that. So we were able to see for the Japanese token Ranbu for overdress that they're also going to be, the new draw triggers are going to be 10K draw triggers as well, but they're going to be 5K shields still as well, which kind of makes them useless. So yeah, I wanted to say real quick just about the triggers. We'll cover that just real quick. I wanted to say, in my opinion, real quick, I was really hoping for the 5K shield, and I was hoping to tame down some of this power, some of this power creep, because triggering is infinitely, insanely powerful with the start of V series, with the introduction of the 10K triggers. Triggering that is infinitely more powerful than triggering than triggering one trigger back in the day. So getting one trigger now is ridiculous, and getting two is rough. It makes your day rough now. But yeah, and I will say I'm a little disappointed that it's 10K triggers. I'm happy that the 15K, going from 20K to 15K for the heal triggers. I do like that a lot, actually, because yeah, it having a 20K shield is also rough. And then I gotta say, with the draw triggers, keeping 5K shield kind of sucks, and I think it makes them kind of like with G, like we saw with towards the end of G and stuff. It makes you almost not want to play draw triggers at all. So I hope I hope that they maybe I hope that maybe those draw PGs make a comeback to some extent. We don't know. We don't know. They could happen still with set one. They could still have the draw sentinels. But yeah. What are you guys' thoughts? I'll start with Zach real quick. Just shield value, power output from these triggers.
I don't like the trigger being 10K still. I've disliked that probably since V series. I do like how those mixed artworks and all that, we both 100% that all the getting like 10K base for the 13K bases for the threes. It could vary in the future, but for these start decks, that are really nice for sure. I don't exactly know how I feel about heal triggers going down, being reduced by 5K. It kind of depends on how the mechanics of the game work, I guess, but it's a little different so far with that. And then the grade 1 that we artwork, the grade 1 shield are all 5K instead of 10K from V series. So that too. I know within our own group, I think it was Dekin who said it would be nice to see if some of our trigger skills that allowed for guarding, like at cost for additional shield, maybe that was a thing. But otherwise, making me a little nervous.
Yeah, I do wonder where is shield value going to come from? because I'm trying to avoid Persona Ride right now. We're going to talk about that in a little bit, but with how Persona Ride is going to work, and then along with these 10K triggers, where is shield value going to come from? Because you can't just depend on, I have to get a Sentinel, or I have to have multiple triggers in hand in order to just hope to guard an attack. That could be a problem. Dekin, your thoughts? Trigger value and shield value.
I am also on the line about it. I definitely have mixed views on the power, but I will get to that in a sec. The shield value, I do like that are staying 15. Off of that, I assume the fronts will be also 15 shield because of the nature that fronts were basically Excel's crit. So it makes sense they would still keep the 15K shield. I very, very strongly dislike that draws are 5K because, like you were saying, Brad, they're useless unless they have some sort of ability. And heals going down the 5K, I am in between leaning more towards disliking because you're losing 5K shield. But my thought process with now the ride deck being introduced, maybe they're lowering shield value because they're finally introducing Blitz, and that these like heals and draws and fronts are going to have abilities to help guarding wise. Because now that you have the ride deck, you have more room for order deck, and you don't have to run all these grade 1 anymore. You don't have to. You can run Aqua and do all grade 3s if you really wanted, but obviously you probably wouldn't. But I mean, you can do all these things, and I'm really, really hoping they introduce trigger effect, because seeing as it a continuation from the G timeline, you assume that triggers would still have effects. So hopefully they're nation based, and maybe the heal you guard with it. After battle you kill it, or you kill it on a denial griffin, and then big buff to shield for other dudes, and stuff like what I'm really hoping for. And that is my thought process on lowering the shield value. And if they do that, the 10K power for me is fine. I'm okay with that. If they don't, then I have a very big problem with the 10K power, especially if fronts keep that 10K power.
I mean, you can do abilities with some of your triggers and stuff, like you were saying, and I think a little bit of what, a combination of what Zach was saying. You could easily make your heal triggers or something, have it be something as simple as maybe when this, a Guardian Circle ability, maybe CB1 or Soul Blast 1 or something, pay some sort of a cost and it doubles in value. So it goes from a 15K to a 30K shield. I think would be beneficial. And then maybe your crits offer you offensive abilities or defensive abilities as well. I don't know. But yeah, the addition to that every clan or nation now has the ability to have fronts, which is still a big question mark. We don't know. We're assuming that it's definitely going to probably be the additional 10K to your front row, because everything else so far looks like to be 10K. But with that, we can assume possibly too that they're going to have 15K shield. But I mean, I don't see the whole appeal of possibly running draw triggers. I see people more than likely running either a 6 crit 6 front scenario or 8 crit 4 front scenario as well, because draws just aren't worth it. But yeah. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into Persona Ride, because I think that's something that we definitely want to cover as well. Persona Ride was revealed last week. They revealed kind of how it works. And we had confirmation this week. I was going to go into a whole spiel last week, and just timing did not work out. I was going to go into a whole spiel of we have that Persona Ride icon on Nirvana, the card for the main grade 3 for Dragon Empire. But we didn't necessarily see that on some of the other cards, along with the icon under the grade 3s have been different. They're all, colorized to their nation. But I mean, look at something for Keter Sanctuary and stuff like that. It's actually, instead of a circle, like with Dark States and Dragon Empire, it's actually more of a triangle. So I was theorizing before that it could be something different, have a different type of ability. But it's basically been confirmed this week as well that Persona Ride is going to be a thing for all of those. And Persona Ride, how it works is when you ride a grade 3 that's the same name as a kind of very similar to Break Ride, you get to draw an additional card. Then on top of it, you get to give your front row units gain continuous power plus 10k. So I think there was some people kind of flipping out about that, especially because it's a continuous ability. It's a blanket ability. So it's not like you have to already have those rear guards on rear guard slots. You can call them afterwards, and those will gain those 10k buffs. So there were some people freaking out, thinking that was going to be a big deal. I don't really see it being a big deal, especially with it being a turn 4 mechanic. We talked about this in our group chat and stuff last week, but with it being a turn 4 mechanic, it's not V-Series. We're not just riding in and just instantly gonna just smash your face into the ground. And you still do get an upper hand by going first, but there's some issues there that you could possibly run into that is less so from what V-Series is. You have to get another card of that name. So, and the way it works too is that you can't ride a grade 3 and then ride from your ride deck, but you can ride from your ride deck and then next turn ride the grade 3 that was already in your hand. So I found that a little interesting. But yeah, it's limited to its name. So you have to ride a card of the same name in order to get that Persona Ride ability actually go off. But I wanted to hear your guys' thoughts. What are your guys' thoughts on the Persona Ride ability, and especially that it's going to be available to the all 5, 6 technically nations? Dekin, you first.
I quite like it. I know a lot of people were complaining that it was basic, but it's a generic mechanic, kind of like how Limit Break became a generic mechanic, Legion became a generic mechanic, Stride, Gift. It's just a generic mechanic that is going to set out and pave the way. This is overdress, and what it does, that's not what the cards themselves. So I like that. I like it a lot. And for people that were complaining that who was going first had that insane advantage, it's, again, you were saying it's not V-Series anymore. And when you go first, you don't draw for your starter skill. It is a strictly going second ability that you draw. If you go, so you draw for turn, discard for your ride deck, and then you possibly guard your opponent's turn. If not, you still have the 5. Then you draw, discard for your ride deck, drive check. When your opponent going second gets to draw, drive deck, draw starter, drive deck. So they already have a 2 card advantage on you So it actually helps going second. But you get the bonus with the Persona ride first. So it's fairly balanced as what we're seeing right now, which I quite like. And I do like that everyone gets the Persona ride mechanic. It's not Dragon Empire has this one, Keter Sanctuary has this one, Brantgate has this one, Stoichia has this one, Bermuda has them all because fuck it. But
That's how too. You know that's how it would work.
yeah, that's exactly how it would work. But I quite like that, and we still have to see more on what cards do to even judge how the Persona ride is going to be. And yet, you do have the potential of bricking and not riding that Persona ride all game, unless if they add. So it's very bad, in my opinion, and I like it.
Yes. Zach, your thoughts? Persona ride.
I agree. I agree. That's it. Well, Persona ride is good. Persona ride is fair, and I agree.
Yes. I love it. Dekin, like you were saying, it's balanced. It's balanced quite well. Especially you very well pointed out there that I kind of forgot about actually was that you only get the draw from the starter ability if you're going second. So yeah, that puts you in a better defensive position for your opponent riding first, and for your opponent being able to get the Persona ride off first. So yeah, I quite like that. And again, like you said as well, with the Persona ride being just kind of generic and everybody having access to it, that's not going to be the uniqueness that we see of the nations. The uniqueness of the nations is going to come from what their abilities are. So instead of having like we had with V series and stuff like that, where you not only is the gift kind of generic, but everyone had abilities that revolved around the gift, especially at a certain point where you would gain additional gifts and stuff like that. So it just, I don't know, it became a problem. I think this is just far more balanced. I did also want to say real quick too, with the artwork and everything that they introduced with the start decks, they introduced some of the names, and I gotta say, I don't care for the names or whatever, but I really, really, really like having archetypes back, because with Dragon Empire and stuff like that, you've got the Chakrabarti Dragon Nirvana, but then almost everything is a Blazing Maiden. So you have a Blazing Maiden archetype. For the Dark States, they have Diabolos. For Keter Sanctuary, they have Knight of the Heavenly something. And then they're all named after weapons. Spear, sword, staff, bow, hammer. I think that's pretty cool. For Stoichia is the Sylvan Horned Beast. And then with the grade 3, it's the Sylvan Horned Beast King. I think that's kind of cool. It actually reminds me a little bit of like beast deities and stuff like that, even though I know it's a completely separate nation, but I like the archetype. And then for Brantgate is Aurora Battle Princess, just for the trial deck and stuff like that as well. I'm sure Star Vaders are coming back.
The Brant reminds me of the Power Rangers. They're all after them.
That's actually good. I didn't think of that. I thought my first instinct was Crystal Beasts, because Crystal Beasts from Yu-Gi-Oh! And stuff like that was the Seraph White, Karuna Blue, Torch Green, Ruby Red.
Yeah.
Rules Yellow, just stuff like that. I thought was I kind of like that. I love Crystal Beasts, by the way. So yeah. Anyways, so moving on from that, they did talk about Festival Collection 2021 as well. which is going to still have stuff for overdress. So that's quite exciting. And for that in particular, not for the actual set 01, but for the festival collection, they're going to keep the same principles of clan selection. So draw rate is increased, everything like that. So everything's going to be just dirt cheap. So that's always a good thing, especially for new players. And then finally, they revealed, finally for our discussion here for overdress, but they revealed the Dragon Empire Overtrigger, which we all know that we saw the Cray Elemental before. We talked about it, the Cray Elemental Overtrigger before, but they're going to have individual overtriggers for each nation. And it is from the set and not from set 1, not from the trial decks. The trial decks will have the Cray Elemental overtriggers. But the Dragon Empire Overtrigger is Dragon Deity King of Resurgence Dragvita. So it is shield is the 50,000, like we all knew. The power is 100 million, like we all knew. And then when you damage check it, like with overtriggers, you get the just additional 100 million. And you can only have the 1 copy of it in a deck. But if you drive check it, you get the additional ability of not only the 100 million, but you get the additional ability of choose one of your vanguards and you get to stand it. So everybody's been joking and, everything about it being Overlord the trigger, which, nothing's wrong with that. Don't say anything's wrong with Overlord. It's fine. But yeah, I think this is quite interesting. It will feel, honestly, if they do a restanding Vanguard in Dragon Empire, and you check this on the first swing, like that'll be a devastating turn. But yeah. What are your thoughts on this? Go ahead, Zach.
It's freaking fantastic. Super aggressive. That's awesome. That's insane. Especially like if you hit it and hit a crit, restand that Vanguard with a crit, and it doesn't minus any drives or nothing. It's just a free second attack with your Vanguard. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah, I quite like it. And then we know that we know that every other nation is going to have just ridiculous other skills as well. So, Dekin, your thoughts on this Dragon Empire Overtrigger?
Yeah, I think Overlord the trigger is cool. I really hope in a way they don't introduce a restanding Vanguard with this. At the same time, it's a one of, so I don't care.
Yes.
But at the same time, it's a one of air. But I just think it's kind of funny that it's drive check. All right, my dude, reasons. Do you have PG? No, die. I find it quite hysterical, and it makes me really excited to see what the other overtriggers are gonna do. I already know that Braingate's probably gonna be like, I drive check it, kill one of your dudes, lock. We're not calling it lock, resting it.
We're imprisoning it. We're imprisoning it. Yeah.
But I don't know. I'm excited to see what the rest of them do, and I am also one of the people that it's a one of I don't care. Is it going to be fun casually? Yes. Competitively? No. But I mean,
it's always fun when you check it.
Yes.
But then when your opponent checks it and it matters, then you're going to be upset.
Yeah.
My prediction for Keter Sanctuaries is probably Superior Call option of some sort.
Yeah. Drive check. Superior Call Blaster Blade. your deck.
For Dark State, I want to say it might be a possible like restand ability based on.
I think Stokia is going to restand because they're based on that from the info.
Yeah, they'll probably like restand a rear guard instead of a vanguard.
I'm glad you're talking about possible theorizing and stuff like that. I think Dark States could be. I know it's stealing a little bit from Stargate and stuff, but I think Dark States could possibly, nullify a Sentinel ability.
Yeah, because they're based around one big swing, I'm gonna kill you. So it would make sense if they're like, yeah, no, screw you.
I got my Overtrigger, break your Sentinel, and then my only other theory too was Stoichia, because we know Stoichia. They said something about Stoichia is going to be multi-attack focused. My theory was basically restand full field. like you could give 100 million to one rear guard. You could still give the 100 million to a rear guard slot, but that's only to the one rear guard. But restand full field.
In that case, Brantgate is gonna imprison full field.
That could be.
My theory for Keter Sanctuaries is one of two. Like Zach said, superior call unit hand or deck, typically Blaster Blade. Reincarnate. Or give an insane buff. But instead of just you choose one more unit, like not to one, you choose two. Because their thing from the trial deck, apparently, because we're very, very, very different on it, is attack with big dudes.
Yeah, and
process.
I mean, we know that the trial deck descriptions and stuff like that, they did say, how those decks will still be supported in set one, but they're also going to introduce new, a whole nother set to that nation as well that does something completely different.
Yeah, so you have multiple to play off of.
I don't know. That's the problem with the Overtrigger as a whole. You would probably want it to work with. It'd have to be generic enough.
Yeah,
it would work with both styles, I guess. So yeah, that Keter, I don't know. I really don't know. I'm having difficulty forming an opinion. Like my whole, the only thing that formed in my head was I just pictured Dekin coming up with this like just absolutely ridiculous thing of superior call a full field from your deck, and then they all gain 100 million power, every single last one, and then and they all gain criticals, and they all gain the ability to restand after the attack. So 100 million at face. Actually, it's like 200 and something million at phase with a crit. You got PG? You got PG? Okay, restand this guy. He swings in again. It's only just 100 million now plus a crit. He swings in. Do you got PG? Okay. Now this is what Column swings in.
Don't forget to deal a damage.
It's giving me flashbacks.
Giving me flashbacks of what?
My GB8 for no.
Yeah, Driger, I hate that card, bro.
Attack. Okay, skill restand. Power for every card in the G. Attack again. All right, column swing, same thing. All right, skill. Restand this one. Attack. Also, Driger skill attack.
Yeah.
Game.
Yeah.
I raise rear guard. It's like, whoa.
You don't have enough shield in your deck to survive that attack? You're welcome. Yeah. So, I think that's it. That's all the stuff that we got on Overdress right now. We're very excited to be talking about Overdress anytime they reveal info, we're all like theorizing and everything and coming up with stuff. And I'm like, we know everybody's doing. And hopefully we'll be back at you guys later in the week, maybe Friday, Saturday, if they announce more news, or definitely Tuesday when they announce more news. But yeah, looking forward to more reveals from Overdress and getting less and less excited for any clan selection reveals. So yeah. Yeah, but that's it from us, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.